This farm has been in our family for over 100 years. Our great-grandfather bought it from a Chickasaw Indian girl that was 17 years old. And she got it because she was Chickasaw Indian and this was Chickasaw territory. And it's been in our family ever since.
Look at that. Look at all of them falling. He's making it rain.
That's scary.
That's pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I said you better mind or he's going to shake you. Hey, what you got there?
You got a pecan. You want half of it?
No, your daughter asked for half of it.
I gave her a fourth.
Oh, man. Are we starving to death if we're splitting a pecan 4 ways?
We are.
3 ways? Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel and DJ from Arms Family Homestead and some other channel.
Do the best.
So we're doing something a little bit different today. Okay, a lot of bit different. We're not on our farm or our other farm or our merch facility here. We're somewhere else. We are only about 10 miles from home, and this is a little festival going on. It's called the Pecan Farm Festival. They do this, I don't know if it's been going on for very many years as far as their annual festival, but this is a huge pecan farm with hundreds of pecan trees. So we're going to show you around. They're going to do the part of their annual festival that they're doing is they have a harvest demonstration. So they're going to be harvesting pecans. Now, some of you, I almost brought a prop for demonstration. Some of you call this little metal thing, you know, the little metal thing that has the little small green peas in it? Mm-hmm. That is a pecan. These are pecans, okay? I want to make sure we get this straight. I don't want anybody to get confused. This right here, this wonderful, magnificent little nut is a pecan, not a pecan. The little cans that you buy at the grocery store that have little green English peas in them, those are pecans. So today we're going to refer to this as a pecan because I know a lot of the northern folks say pecan. They're not pecans.
No.
So the reason we're here, the Buchanan Family Pecan Farm, is they reached out to us about, I don't know, a couple months ago. And they said, hey, we are trying to do some different things with our farm. Instead of harvesting all of our pecans and doing just wholesale, just getting what a wholesale buyer sells them for, they're trying to come up with ways that they can do more direct to customer. How can they sell their pecans directly to their customers? Because they feel like they have a far superior pecan than what you get at the grocery store.
For sure.
And I believe it because they're delicious.
They're so good.
And they're trying to find some ideas on how do we reach a customer? How do we get products to our customers? And they wanted to know if we wanted to partner with them and do our own Arms Family Homestead pecans. So I don't know what that exactly looks like, but we came down and had a meeting with them. DJ and I sat down with the owners of the farm, and they kind of explained everything and the whole history. They've been on, I think this is like a 3rd generation piece of farmland. The pecan trees that you see here are not that old, obviously. These are younger trees, but Carl is the owner, and I'm going to try to catch him today. He's busy, he's running around. They're going to do some harvest demonstrations on how they shake the trees, how they have all their machines to harvest them and everything. So I think we're going to try to video some of that. And we're in the works. We're in the process of trying to figure out how we can partner with a local small farm to help basically get their pecans out to you guys, and what that looks like, because it helps them. They're going to make a better profit than versus just selling wholesale, selling 10,000 pounds of pecans to a wholesale buyer and not knowing where they go. It's no different than what everybody, I feel like the world is going to. People want to know, they want to have a connection to their food. They want to know where their food comes from, and they want to know who they're supporting. And if this all works out with us for you guys, you'll be able to support a small family farm that's growing pecans in southern Oklahoma. I'm not, I couldn't tell you if it's all completely organic and everything, but it is a small family farm. And I like supporting that. That's cool. It's fun. So we're going to see if we can find Carl. They're running around here. They've got all kinds of different demonstrations going on and things, and lots of bounce houses and food and toys and plays and games and things for kids. But we're gonna see if we can find Carl and do some harvest demonstrations. And tell you got to pick up all the pecans. We're gonna try to sell pecans, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to pick them all up, and then you've got to crack them and get them out of the shell and bag them for everybody.
I'm good.
You don't think that'll work? You don't think you could do? Let's see. I don't know how many of those.
Give me another one.
I don't know how many it would take to make a pound, but if we do a pound in a bag, and then we sell 1,000 bags, that's a lot of cracking, man. You got stuff going on everywhere. You got people. Everybody's getting set up. I lost my kid. Couldn't find Houston. He's over here cracking pecans for you guys. I don't think that's what he's doing, but I mean, he is cracking them, but definitely not cracking them for sale right now. I couldn't find you. Are you struggling?
No, not really.
You know what's a good thing about it is, if this all works out, oh man, those are good right there. That's what you call a paper shell. Now, I don't know the exact variety. I bet Carl can tell us in a little bit what each variety is, because I'm sure he's got a bunch out here. But in Oklahoma, you know, most of the trees that are for production are paper shell, a bigger pecan, where the native pecans are really small and have a much harder shell.
Oops.
The paper shells are easy to crack and enjoy, huh?
Yeah.
The good thing is if we're gonna sell these, they will be processed, cleaned, and bagged, and we won't even have to crack them.
That's good.
Yeah, here, take that. I'll give it back to you.
You have it.
No, that's all right.
Here, take it.
Okay.
Look at this one. What's that flower?
These things are huge.
Yeah, they are.
It looks like a flower, yeah. So he's gonna shake some trees for us and show us how they harvest them, Houston, in a little while. These are all perfect and ready to harvest, but about, yeah, let's see, that's probably every bit of, I don't know, ping pong ball size, except it's oblong shaped. And these trees are just loaded with thousands of pecans. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
I could come through and pick up pecans just about as fast as I can pick them up, but I mean, you know, it's nowhere near what he's got going on here. So basically, that old Massey tractor, pretty cool. They're just coming through harvesting the pecans that they've already shook off the trees, instead of coming through and shaking everything right now. I don't know how all of it works, but we'll get Carl right there on video eventually and kind of tell us the process of what he's doing, what's going on. Fixing to get dusted out. So obviously this is basically just an orchard, a pecan orchard. All these trees are planted here, and they all have their own individual water. They're all fertilized and taken care of individually, but there's hundreds of trees, and as they mature and get bigger, you know, they're just, every year they'll produce more and more and more, but they're just picking up what's on the ground, what's fallen already. They have a big tractor with a shaker that they'll come into the field, grab onto the trees and shake them. Probably gonna have them falling on my head now. Anyways, shake all the pecans. Not what?
What?
All the pecans, not what?
That's...
Pecans.
Oh.
They're not pecans. Shake all the pecans out of the tree and then come harvest and pick them up. What are you doing? Shaking it? Shake, shake, shake. No, you don't have it. All right, guys, I'm here with Carl Buchanan. I thought it was Buchanan, but his wife says it's Buchanan.
She says it's Scottish.
So
maybe it is.
So Carl's the man behind the farm. This is his operation. I don't know the first thing about harvesting pecans. I don't know the first thing about growing pecans, but we came down and had a meeting with Carl and his wife a few weeks ago, and this man he's the way I've told you guys about Leon and gardening, gardening with Leon and how much his knowledge is when it comes to growing vegetables. Carl's been growing pecans about as long as Leon's been growing vegetables. And I'm going to let him explain a few things, kind of tell us why his pecans are better than what you can get in the grocery store and what their goals are. So this is Carl, and I'm going to let him kind of tell you guys what's going on here. Okay, Carl, so first off, tell me about your farm here. How long have you been here, and why are you growing pecans? Because no one else on this family area here is growing pecans.
This farm has been in our family for over 100 years. Our great-grandfather bought it from a Chickasaw Indian girl that was 17 years old, and she got it because she was Chickasaw Indian and this was Chickasaw territory. And it's been in our family ever since, and we have all the abstracts plumb back to then. And the reason we wanted to grow pecans is because we used to grow peanuts and corn and cattle, and it got to where it didn't make money. And we want to grow pecans, and we want to sell the crop off of the tree to the customer, so the customers will get fresh quality pecans, and that's not what you ever buy in a grocery store. They'll be completely different than you've ever bought if you hadn't bought fresh right off the tree.
Right.
And we take care of them. We take the leaves off of them and send them off and have them sampled. If they need zinc or phosphorus or nitrogen, whatever they need, they tell us how many pounds per tree, and we come out here and do that by hand. We take a cup and put that fertilizer on each tree by hand.
So each tree out here is treated individually, not like one giant crop. Where if you were growing corn and you say you had 100 acres of corn, it's just going to get fertilized. Yeah. So trees are a little different. You're taking care of each individual tree.
Well, we do 4 sections, and that section will get what they recommend.
Gotcha.
And we don't do the leaves off of every tree, but we do 4 sections and send them off.
It's more. Yeah, I mean, I get that. You'd have hundreds and hundreds of trees. I mean, how many trees are you?
We have 2,040 trees here on this farm.
Yeah, you couldn't take samples from every tree.
No,
so I get it. You're doing it by lots.
We do sections, and that way we don't buy nitrogen that they don't need and put on there and leave all phosphorus that they did need. We know what they need, and they get it. We actually ride around in a gator and pour it on there with a cup. Every tree gets the
right amount,
or 2 pounds, whatever is recommended for that section.
Gotcha. So this is I guess this is actually the first pecan harvest festival you guys have done. Is this?
Yeah, it's the first one.
I wasn't sure earlier. I wasn't sure if this had been a couple-year thing, but this is the first one. So you're trying to get the public involved, get people out here, let them see how pecans are grown and harvested, and we're really kind of focusing on that small family farm. And
yeah, because there's so much about agriculture that people don't understand if they're not involved. And I understand that because if I go to the dentist, I don't have a clue what he's doing.
Right.
But I want him to know.
Right. Yeah.
And we do know about pecans. We know how to make these trees grow. We know what rootstock. The roots on these trees are different than what you see above the ground. It's a different variety of tree. And they're grown for this area, north of the Red River.
Gotcha.
And the tops of the trees, we have them planted in rows and sections, so we know whether for what kind of disease, for what kind of variety of pecan we have.
Gotcha. So what does it look like as far as, I have no idea how all this works and everything. You got 2,000 trees. So take us through the process of just harvest day or just harvest season. How does that work? How do you go from pecans hanging on a tree to a finished product in somebody's kitchen?
We have 3 varieties here, and the reason for that is these are Pawnees, and they get ready before Kansas or Lakota. So we can start harvesting the Pawnees, and by the time we get through with that, the next variety will be ready, so we can harvest every variety at the peak of its ability to taste good and be fresh.
Gotcha.
And if you like native trees, we'll harvest them later on, and we don't promote them to sell to the public. We just do that and sell them to the shellers. But all this, we want to go from our farm to your table, so you'll know exactly what you're getting.
Right. So pretty much a pecan's going to go from the husk on this tree right here. You're going to come through with a tractor, and first thing you do is shake the trees, right?
Shake them all. So
you're going to shake them and knock all the pecans down on the ground, and then you've got other tractors that are hooked up to harvesters. So just give me a walk around of this machine real quick. I've seen them my whole life, but I've never actually seen how a Savage harvester works.
Well, you don't really need a big tractor. Like this tractor is only 40 horsepower, and we've had this tractor for close to 40 years. And so our maintenance, we do everything ourselves, and we keep our equipment cost as low as we possibly can. And the way these harvesters work is underneath there is a big brush, just like a big broom you'd see on a piece of highway equipment.
Like a big street sweeper?
Yep, same thing.
Yeah.
It throws all the pecans up on a conveyor, and that conveyor drops them off in front of a fan. And that fan will blow all the light trash out the back.
Yep.
All the light trash will be
All the dust comes out the back, huh?
And this chain that's got the holes in it, the pecans will drop through those holes down on the auger, and they'll come across that auger and go up here in this hopper. And then we'll dump the pecans out of that hopper into a trailer to take them and be further processed.
Gotcha. That's pretty interesting. Pretty neat machine. And you've got two harvesters out here working?
Yeah, we've got 2 of them right now. We've got another one that we're not running right now.
Yeah.
We're working 2 harvesters and a blower and a shaker right now for the harvest season right now.
Awesome. So it's a pretty neat little idea. You think about it. Everybody, I feel like, in today's culture, in America today, they're trying to get closer to their food. People want to know where their food comes from. And this is just one way that I feel like we're able to help support a small family farm. This is really neat because we're only 10 miles from my house. This land has been in your family
over 100 years.
Since statehood, before statehood. Yeah. And that's just really neat. And they found a way that is a unique way to grow a business, a small family farm that not a lot of people around here are doing. I mean, pecans are fairly common in Oklahoma. I was kind of making a joke to my fans earlier on here, saying there's a huge difference in a pecan and a pecan. The pecans are what are on the shelf in the grocery store, in a can with the little green peas in them, and pecans are a nut that grows on a tree. But it is a true small family farm, and I feel like this is just one way that we can help support that, and you guys can help support it. We're trying to figure out a way that we can get their pecans to you guys with the least amount of hands in the middle. Because if you sell, like he was telling me a story a minute ago, if you just harvested all your pecans and you were going to go dump them off wholesale, the pecans that you've put all this time and energy into, what kind of profit margins are there for you versus the wholesale market? I mean, like, is it feasible for you to take all these and just dump them by the pound to the wholesale?
No, it's not anymore. Used to it was. We done pretty well at it, but about probably 7 years ago, just pecans we harvested on native trees would bring $2.14 a pound. And today they'll probably bring $1. And these that we raise here that we take such good care of will bring about $2. And our input in them could be, $1.80.
God,
and
that's not much margin there.
If we sell them for, say we take them to the sheller and sell them for $2.50 to the sheller, he's going to sell them to y'all for $15 or $16 a pound.
Because he knows they're good, high quality pecans.
Yeah, and we can sell these. Like last year, we had people come from Arkansas and Texas to buy our pecans that had shelling plants because they wanted these pecans to sell their personal customers.
Yeah.
And they had some of their own. Last year's ours happened to be better than the rest of them. We took good care of them and irrigated them.
Yeah. So you would be selling them for $2 a pound, and then someone else can turn around and sell the same pecans for $16 a pound?
Yeah, like if we sold them 10 pounds of pecans, if we got $2, that'd only be $20.
Yeah.
But if we have them shelled and turn them into nut meats, we'll end up with 6 pounds of nut meats. And if we, after all of our costs and everything, if we happen to average $10 a pound, that's $60 instead of $20. And that way we can stay in business.
That's a big difference.
We can take care of our equipment, and we can have money to live on, and we can improve our farm.
Yep.
But if you do it the other way and take the $2, in a few years you won't have a farm.
No.
Someone else will have it.
I saw it. I saw an old joke. One of those. It was in the newspaper one time. A comic deal. It said, if you gave an old farmer $1 million, what do you think he'd do with it? And it said he'd probably keep on farming until the $1 million was gone.
Yeah.
And you got to evolve and change and figure out ways to make it work, or you wouldn't be able to keep your small family farm, I feel like.
Well, this is not a joke. This is a true story. We have a friend that farmed peanuts all their life. And Peanuts went out and he went to work at Uniroyal. And I was talking to his wife, and she said, it looks like we're going to have to completely quit farming because you can't support a family farm on a Uniroyal check. And that's a true story. It's not something someone made up.
I believe that. We're fixing to get some loud blowing noise coming through here. So tell me real quick, he's coming through with a blower. What's he doing?
He's blowing the nuts away from the tree. Our harvester won't go between the tree and the sprinkler. and that machine blows them away from the tree and away from the sprinkler, so we can pick them up on the other side when we come down through there.
Gotcha. So it's just blowing everything to one side so that this machine can access the pecans on the ground. That makes sense.
For a few years, we done it with a backpack blower.
Oh,
it's hard work. At the end of the day, you'll come out.
I bet. So he's going to get on this big tractor. This is the one that has the shaker on the back of it. So each and every one of these trees, in order for them to harvest pecans, has to go through this shaker. So he'll hook on to each tree here, 2,000 plus trees, with that little machine, and shake every one of these trees to knock the pecans down. Look at this tractor, Houston. Okay, now you're an expert, right? You know a lot about a lot, right? So this is an old farm-all tractor. Now, explain to me why this tractor has 3 seats on it, son.
3 different people can work on it at the same time.
That's a perfect reason for a tractor to have 3 seats, is so 3 people can ride on it. That's a pretty cool old tractor, though, isn't it? Yeah. All right, Carl's fixing to shake some trees for us. They got a few old tractors out here just for display. These aren't actually still ones they're using on the farm, but he does use some older equipment. I mean, it's nothing wild and crazy and fancy. I mean, it's just using what they got, making do with what they got, and like he said, he does all the maintenance, does all the work, and they don't need new and flashy all the time. Hey, listen, if you don't act right, I'll get Carl to back up around you and just shake you. Watch. Okay, so this pecan tree is loaded down with pecans. He's fixing to latch onto it.
I'd rather not get squished by that.
He's gonna, look at that. Look at all of them falling. He's making it rain.
That's scary.
That's pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I said you better mind or he's gonna shake you.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised that tree ain't out of the ground right now.
Hey, he told me a while ago there's over 2,000 trees on this farm.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, he has to do that to every tree here. Hey, and that doesn't get all of them. They'll come back and shake them again. I think you should go stand under one of the trees while he shakes it. Might need a helmet.
Yeah.
Look at all this, though. Look how many pecans. I think I know why he decided to have the harvest festival with all these people here. Yeah. Then he can just get everybody to come out here and pick up pecans for him.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna need a few more people.
Yeah.
It's only what? He's done 3, so like 1,997 more trees to go.
Yeah.
You know, when they first came to us with this idea about, hey, would you be interested in selling pecans? And I was like, I don't know. Do you mean you want to sponsor some of our videos for YouTube and stuff? And they didn't know what it looked like, honestly. But after coming out and meeting them and meeting the family and getting to know them and seeing what they're doing, I mean, this is just a true American small farm in southern Oklahoma. And they are looking for ways to grow their farm, expand their business, and make more profit off the land that has been in their family for generations, over 100 years. And that's really cool. And I love that. I love being able to support other small farms. And this is just neat. I mean, I'm having fun watching it. They've got a whole festival going on, all kinds of different things going on here. And cakewalks and pumpkin rings, and I mean, I don't know, throwing rings around pumpkins, like a little carnival, and bounce houses and food and all kinds of stuff. They're just a small farm that's exploring ways of trying to get directly to their customers and take that wholesale middleman out. Because like Carl said a while ago, with the middleman, that wholesaler in there, they were keeping all of their profits basically. And just, he's out here, been out here for decades, growing pecans and just barely I'm not gonna say barely scraping by, but just barely keeping those margins to where he was making a profit. And if he can sell directly to customers through us and through, you know, events like this, that's just a win-win situation for everybody. So this is a family farm. We were talking to Carl, and one thing, we're on the river. We're on the Ouachita River,
Yes.
banks of the Ouachita River.
Yes.
They used to plow this for corn and peanuts and all that stuff, and they've told Houston they found a bunch of Native American artifacts, like arrowheads, spear points, a tomahawk.
You're talking my language when I hear that.
So Houston's like, when can we hunt arrowheads? We need to go find some arrowheads. But
next week,
possibly.
possibly.
Carl's wife is in the house, and supposedly she's got a bunch of stuff in here she wants to show Houston. So we'll see if she'll let us video it, see what they found.
Yes.
I think you're waiting on.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cool, Houston.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a big old spear point, isn't it? Look at
That's
that. Probably
crazy.
what, 5 inches long?
That's crazy.
Isn't that awesome?
When do we get to come out here?
Whenever y'all want to. I would wait until harvesting is over, and Carl Jean can plow. It doesn't mean like until all of the season is over. Let him get through with all of this and give him a little time, about a week or so, to plow, and then we need it to rain. Now look at that right there. You see the? Well, I'm gonna have you look and see if you can see the face. You can hold it if you want to. Yeah, do it
Like this?
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to show you where it's at. Yes, thank you.
Do you see it?
There's the eyeball. There's the nose, and there's the mouth right there.
So you were looking in
And
the
this-
middle, it's not the middle.
No, it's right here on the edge. They did a lot of them on the edge.
You see it, Houston? I see what she's talking about now.
Eye,
Yeah.
nose, mouth.
Yep.
Yep.
Let me hold it like this, and you look at it.
Yeah, if you just look at the edge of the rock,
Oh.
you see what she's talking about.
See how you can see that?
Yeah.
We didn't get like the Clovis. We haven't found any of those yet.
Holy
Well, that's pretty cool.
moly.
That's an awesome one right there.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Hey, that's the one you found's not too much different
yeah,
than
it's
that.
just bigger.
Yeah.
I found mine in Texas.
No, I'm talking about the one you found here.
Oh, no.
But it was more of a scraper.
No, that one is more like this. It's just like,
It wasn't a whole spear point.
Yeah.
Yours was like a scraper. It was only sharpened on one side.
Was it like something like this?
no.
The embankment deal. But a lot of it where you see it's higher, that's where they would put their camps. And they did that so that they could watch out for enemies and those large animals. You know, there were huge
And floods,
animals and the floods. But yes, and they would usually get higher.
Yeah, this is what you got in Houston. You thinking about arrowhead stuff and hunting Indian artifacts, Native American artifacts. He's ate up with the arrowhead thing.
How much money can I pay
And-
you for this?
No, she's not selling these.
Today I can't.
Isn't that cool?
And this
You can see through that, Houston.
And do you know the white ones, the really white, the white ones like that? And small. My niece that's here, her husband told us that they were like a chief whose baby would pass away. They would make that arrowhead for them. So a lot
Hold
of
that up.
that's cool then.
Hold that up. So that one was definitely a knife blade, Houston. You can tell. I mean, they probably had some sort of handle fashioned
It's
onto
like-
it, you know. That's the back side of the blade. And then
you got
this was the sharp side, right?
Yeah. So what they probably did, they probably got like a stick or something.
Yep.
They sliced it right in the middle perfectly and stuck it right there and wrapped like dried out grass or something around it to the light.
Sinew. Animal ligaments and tendons, but that is pretty cool. All right, listen, Houston, we can stay here and look at artifacts all day. This is about pecans. I don't need to make a Indian artifact video. We're back home. The Pecan Festival went great. It was their first attempt at an event like that, so it went good. DJ's
Sorry.
flinching because Earl just ran by.
Yeah, well,
He's not going to knock over the
I
tripod.
thought he was going to.
Anyways, so what in the world are we doing partnering with a pecan farm?
We're going to sell some pecans.
We're partnering with a pecan farm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So, they brought up this idea to us a few weeks ago and proposed, hey, is there anything that that they basically said, is there anything you can do to help us sell pecans directly to customers? And I didn't like the idea of just doing like a sponsored video, sponsored by, Buchanan Pecan Farm. I actually wanted to partner with them after we went down and met with them and, got to know them a little bit and saw their operation. And Carl is such a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
That guy, I don't know the first thing about growing pecans. I've just never done it. But he can sit and tell you every minute, tiny little detail when it comes to making the best tasting pecans.
Yeah.
And their goal is obviously to raise the best crop, the best tasting pecans they can. And I don't know how many times they've told us, you don't understand the difference in what you get at the grocery store versus what they grow until you taste them. And they did give us both options, and there is a huge difference. But I know the difference because I grew a garden for many years, and I watched my kids eat green beans that we grew and canned, and they helped us with the whole process, and they would eat them and love them. And then we'd open a can of green beans from the grocery store, and they're like, hey, I don't want to eat that. That's gross. And there's a difference. So we're partnering with the Buchanan. I want to call them Buchanan because that's just what it sounds like, what it looks like. But then it's Buck.
It's Buchanan.
It's Buck. I say him Buck because I'm a deer hunter,
Yeah,
we're calling it Buchanan. Buchanan. But anyways, we are partnering with them. They're about maybe 10 miles from us. Small family farm. They've owned that land, like Carl said, for generations. And it's so cool to be able to support other small farms. And what they have is the crop and not the customers. What we have is no crop, but the customers.
Yeah.
And it's just a good partnership for them, for us, and for you guys. So we're going to be doing our own, basically, private label, Arms Family Homestead pecans. We did not buy a pecan farm. I don't want to mislead anyone.
No.
We're just partnering with another family to help get their pecans to market.
Yes.
And we got to talking about, who our audience is and who watches, and we have a large audience of 55 and older females. And they were like, oh, that's perfect, because that's who's going to buy pecans.
Yeah.
That's who's going to buy pecans for their kids and their grandkids. And they do, their plans are growing for this thing. So right now, we're going to have our own label, our own, brand of pecans that we're going to sell through our website. And it's hopefully going to go out. It's going to launch with our Christmas launch. Now,
that is the plan.
I talked to them about it today, and they have harvested so far over 6,000 pounds of pecans.
Wow.
And I don't know that we can sell 6,000 pounds of pecans, but they have other ways of selling and other plans. But I'm saying they're just beginning the season. Like, that's just the first initial run through of what they've picked up so far. So those are headed to the processor to get cracked, cleaned, shelled, bagged. It's all going to be done through, a USDA inspected facility. And it is a food product, so it has to go through licensing and all that stuff that they've already done.
Yes.
We're just helping them reach customers. And I'm telling you, there's a huge difference. We brought home a few weeks ago a bag of their pecans that were a year old, really.
Yeah, they were in the freezer.
Yeah. And we buy pecans. Like, DJ could go get, she could probably go grab a bag right. No, she could.
Yeah.
We buy 2-pound bags from Sam's. And we thought they were delicious, which they're good. They're fine.
Yeah.
But I promise you, the bag of homegrown fresh pecans, which were still a year old, not really fresh, disappeared in 2 days.
Yeah.
And the other bag of Sam's pecans is still in there.
Yeah, I mean, just the way they look, even the way they look, and then once you eat them, it's just like night and day flavor difference.
Absolutely. It's like so anything else. If you've ever grown a tomato in your garden and ate a homegrown tomato versus a store-bought tomato, there's no comparison. It's not even a fair playing field. So we don't have them available yet, but as I said, they're already in the processing stages. So they're hoping. I think she said November 6th was the goal, which we're not going to be launching by November 6th.
No.
But that's not coming up. That's not too far away. So if they can get their part done, then we'll have them basically here and ready to put on the website for you guys to be able to purchase. Right now, we're just doing plain shelled pecans. But Carl has assured me multiple times, if anyone wants to buy pecans that are still in the shell, he'll find a way. He'll make a way.
Yes.
If somebody wants to buy, 50 pounds of unshelled pecans, I don't know why you'd want to do that when they'll shell them and have them ready for you to eat. But he said people do. They want them, at holidays and stuff. They put them out, on the table for people to crack pecans and things. But we're also looking into the idea, and they've already done this, of chocolate covered, like milk chocolate, dark chocolate, candied pecans.
Candied pecans, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have all that set up with our label and our brand yet, but we may be selling some of their stuff if they get it all ready to go before Christmas. So holidays and things. Now it'll be a limited, buy now, limited time only, but it is a supply and demand kind of thing. We have no idea how many pecans we can sell for these guys.
We have no idea.
But we're going to be offering them in 1 pound bags. So we're just taking a shot in the dark. When we ordered bags, we had to order in bulk, not filled bags, but empty, the empty Mylar bags. Not Mylar. Mylar's the, last forever, 25 years shelf life. Not Mylar bags, but like the clear cellophane bags. That's what I was thinking. We had to order 10,000 bags.
That's a lot of bags.
Now, I don't think we can sell 10,000 pounds of pecans before this year's crop is gone. We can roll the bags over until next year and put fresh pecans in them.
Yeah.
But you never know. You guys surprise us when we buy t-shirts. I know that.
Yeah.
But
we are planning on launching for our Christmas launch November 17th. So that's the goal for everything. Not just pecans or not just our Christmas launch, but that's the goal.
So it's just something else we're adding into the mix for you guys. Obviously we'll make a profit on it. The farm that we're getting them from will make a profit on it. But like Carl said, you guys heard him. If he took these same pecans that are top quality and sold them wholesale to a cracker, he's only going to make, a couple dollars a pound versus what he can make off of his farm. He can make the profit and not the middleman who's making all the profit there, because they're going to sell for $15, $16, $17 a pound, whether Carl sells them, whether the distributor sells them, whether we sell them. But it makes more sense for the small family farm to make the profit and not some big corporation in the middle. And that's what's happened in the past. So,
I agree.
Anything else? Anything you want to add?
No. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid it's might encroach on we're going to eat so much is what I'm getting at.
When you've got an unlimited supply of pecans in your shop, you eat a bunch.
I may end up having
but they're healthy. Pecans are healthy.
They are. They're great.
And if you've never had just good, fresh pecans, I encourage you, just once we get them up for sale, buy 1 bag and try it.
Yeah.
They're so much better than store-bought.
Sure.
And what you buy in a bag in the store may be a year-old crop, it may be a 2-year-old crop, it may be in the freezer. You have no idea. And you can just see the difference. And these things are huge.
Yeah, they are.
They're huge.
They are.
DJ never mind.
Pass. That's what I was saying, CrossFit. Pass. Let's not do that. Pass.
Anyways, so
go right past that.
There you have it. Something totally different for us, something new. We're just trying things out, and it's look at it like a collaboration. Instead of us collaborating with another YouTube channel, we're collaborating with another farm to help them get their product to market and increase profits and profitability of their crop for them. Yeah. And it's cool. I think it's cool. It
is. It's really cool.
It's cool.
I mean, we've been trying to think of something that different, new that we could put out there.
Other products besides just t-shirts and hats.
Yeah. And, I'd really looked into coffee a bunch in the past, and we may do that in the future because I love me some coffee. But, we've talked about all different things, and then they approached us about this, and so.
Well, and we pulled back on the coffee idea because Jason and Brooke have their own little coffee line right now, and, it's just Coghill Farm. They're good friends of ours, and we weren't trying to stomp on anybody's toes.
No, we're not.
I will say this, though. They told us that, and I'm not a cold brew person. I don't do cold brew coffee, but I know a lot of you people do. But they have a
Our pecan people.
Yeah.
Not Jason.
Not Jason and Brooke.
Yeah.
The Buchanans have a supplier that takes their pecans and makes a pecan infused
Cold brew.
cold brew coffee. Now, I don't know, but they said it's amazing. I don't do cold brew. I'm not a cold brew fan, but they said it's like the best thing ever. It's literally their pecans like ground up into a real fine dust almost, I guess, and then infused into the coffee. Or maybe it takes the oil. Maybe they grind them down, take the oil, and move. I don't know. I don't know how it's done. I didn't get that far, but it's a pecan infused coffee. So that might be something that we can help them sell someday.
Maybe.
So,
Nope.
what else?
That's it. That's all I got. I'm excited.
You're excited?
I can't wait to get them here.
We're sitting here talking like it's a live video. You know,
Oh, that's true.
we're not live.
We're not live.
We're like, hey, anybody got any questions?
I'm fixing to sneeze.
Nobody has any questions. They're not scrolling by. See, so no questions. All right.
No.
So
Okay.
we end the meeting. Like I call it. I make a motion to adjourn. I need a second.
Second.
All right. Motion carries. We're selling pecans now.
Sounds great.
Guys, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.